first thing is there's some really interesting research that just came out from Common Sense Media, which is, I think, a gold standard. What they did was to look at what are your top worries. They asked kids, and 4 things kept coming up. Number 1 is they're worried about school. They're worried about their learning, and rightly so, but they're also really worried about families, strife, economics, dad, will my family get injured and hurt? They're very lonely. This is the generation whose friends really played a key role in their mental health, and now they're disconnected. And this is the first generation who's actually watching the news because they're watching it on their feeds of their phones. And as a result, they're extremely worried because they're getting distressing kind of images. That said, the first thing we're going to do is improve their wellness and well-being, and we can do that by helping them still be connected and social distance. 3 things that kids say that really helps them. First of all is exercise. So that means download maybe a yoga app onto your phone and do it together, or exercise with your friends virtually. The second thing fascinating is music. When I ask kids what really helps you cope, many of them said we're downloading certain kind of music and it helps us keep going. You'll love this. When I say, so what's the top music that you want on there? They go, Elton John, I'm Still Standing. I think that's the one we should all probably put on, but that's good news. The next thing is watch the news intake. Maybe you can suggest some other apps or some other organizations or websites to go to. You know, what we want to do is provide healthy connections for a disconnected group of kids right now. The first thing is online. A lot of kids are playing games. We used to play the old games, game boards together, but now they're playing Scrabble and chess and Connect 4 online with one another. That's healthy and that's great. Another idea, I love this, it was a group of Chicago kids. They always wanted to watch movies and they didn't think they had enough time, so they're setting up Google Docs, asking their parents, what movies do you want to watch? You're only watching it in your own house. But they're mobilizing all the neighborhood kids to get on board together, so they're all watching at the same time the same movie and then critiquing it onto the Google Doc. Now, I think that's pretty darn cool. This week they're watching Shawshank Redemption. All the parents chose E.T., so that's okay. We're all in this together. But the other thing we've got to figure out is how to help them really deal with the grief, because they're missing some major milestones right now in their lives, particularly seniors. 2 things. Birthdays, kids said, it's my spring birthday and what do I do? There's some wonderful things that kids are doing. Virtual birthday parties are coming up, huge. We can do that together. Caravans with the cars together. You got to stay in your own car, but put onto the side of the door, just some kind of a sign that says happy birthday. Drive by the house of the birthday kid, roll down your window, start honking and singing. That's one way you can do it. Proms. It's coming up over and over again. This is what they're doing in Indiana. The girls always wanted to, please let me wear my prom dress. And so you dress up, but you go out in your driveway. They're taking splices together of all the girls in all of the high schools, putting them together, and it's prom night, so at least they're having a chance to be together and see things together. The final thing I'd really suggest you all do, don't you love that, is pay it forward. We're stressed, our kids are stressed, but science says that there's a hidden technique that is an antidote to all of this, and that is helping another. Not only will it reduce your stress, but also make you happier and help another. Some ideas that you may want to consider, again from kids, if you're over 17, donate blood. The hospitals are needing you right now. What we've also found is that teens are developing what's called quarantine gift bags. They're just simple little bags. They're filling it up with, you know, little like gums or candy, or maybe it's a handwritten note, and dropping it by driveways for their friends. You can also do thank you signs, post them outside, post them in hospitals. Gina, we've got some change makers right here in the Valley. It doesn't make any difference how old you are, but some fabulous kids who are using that pay it forward technique. Hats off to Jacob Mariscal. What he is doing, I think, is wonderful. 5th grader from Cielo Vista Charter School. His mom's a nurse in Eisenhower, and he heard that there wasn't enough protective gear. So he got out his 3D printer, and with his teacher supervising online, he is printing off protective masks and then delivering them to Eisenhower nurses. Here's another one. Faith Garza, good for you. 8th grader from Raymond Cree Middle School. She's at home like all of us, But what she's doing this week is writing personal thank you notes to first responders in our valley. This week she wrote 100 and mailed off 100. So my challenge to you is think of one person who's lonely, who's struggling. Reach out to them this week, because not only will your stress levels go down, you'll be helping another person. That's how we're going to get through this. It's all thing together. Here's a group of kids who are connected. It's called the internet generation. iGeneration is what they are. And now we're requiring them to social distance. This is the time in their lives where they need connection more than anything else. That's how a teen operates, as friends. So the only way that they can is through that system with phones. And there are some fabulous ways that kids are using those phones. There's a group of kids that are also sending inspirational texts to one another just to keep their health levels up and their stress levels down.